Never expected to make a video like this, but here we fucking are. Pretty recently, like the day of me doing the voiceovers, fellow Roblox slopper who I look up to a lot, Craft, had released a Harken balancing rant, which is not unusual for him at all, except I take a lot of issues with this Harken rant specifically. And I'm gonna break down most of the issues I have in this little video. I'm intending for this to be short, but don't be surprised if this ends up being like, what, normal ass video length for me. Or with the agitation stuff, since that's the first in the video.
Agitation was the one ability holding all of Harken's game plan together. Let's nerf it!
The nerfs that are being spoken of here are a 0.25 second windup increase and agitation starting on a 20-second cooldown when you start the round. The only one I'm not really a big fan of is the 20-second cooldown at the round start, which is, I don't like that. But like that wind-up nerf, that is negligible. Not even, it doesn't really come into play at all unless we're talking Light Piercer, which is mentioned later on. So we'll cover that later on.
In a state where you have extremely mediocre stats,
The only stat you can even pass off as mediocre is maybe the health, but again, Harken's a glass cannon, we've been over this.
being able to deny an area of the map and deal somewhat respectable damage, while forcing survivors to either reposition or eat slowness, was what let Harken actually keep up in chases during the build-up to Enrage mode.
I could actually say this is true. Agitation is just invaluable for Harken's moveset, being able to wall off areas and making civilians have to eat damage, eat slowness. That is invaluable for Harken chases before Enrage.
It seems like Pursuer might be a bit of an issue in the meta. What do we do?
We have bigger balloons to pop here. Yes, Pursuer is also a big issue in the meta, but I'd argue Killjoy's even a worse issue in the fucking meta, because Killjoy nowadays is just Jetass, just straight up the strongest killer probably, and probably the most brainless one, because all you need to know is decent aim. That's it, compared to like back in the fucking trenches. I'd repeat my trenches rant if this wasn't, you know, someone who played in the fucking trenches.
Meanwhile, Pummel isn't making much noise either.
Pummel's nerfs were, again, pretty negligible. Windup increased by 0.3 seconds. Pummel damage for both variants decreased by 5. No lunge and lag increased by 0.15. And Pummel giving civilian iframes for its duration, which I think was probably just a correction for something. Either way, Pummel's changes are very negligible, like I said before, and honestly, I didn't even notice them until I looked a little deeper and read the logs.
And it's not like it's a base ability. You need to build up to this Enrage state, and now you have one less strong ability to go along with it.
Whoever was on the script writing team that was recording this knows a lot about strong abilities considering what killer they're using. I'd argue that Pummel is still great for punishing morons with no fucking stamina management. And it's not going to be as great for people with good stamina management because it's meant to punish people with bad stamina management. Crazy, I know.
An ability that was once a great part of Harken's Enrage mode has been reduced to nothing more than a gashing wound that actively punishes you for using it by having no lunge. In fact, you can't even make the excuse that it's a gashing wound ability.
What the fuck are you talking about? Only similarity between the two is that it's melee attack with big damage. I have no fucking words for how stupid this comparison is.
Previously, Light Piercer was a strong yet fair option used to cut off loops for survivors.
Well, I wonder what they did to gut Light Piercer. The windup was increased by 0.4 seconds. That's fucking nothing! At least say Agitation's windup increase matters because Calm is already pretty weak and every decimal could count, which is an argument made in the fucking video that I just cut because I was going to explain it here anyway, probably. But Light Piercer, admittedly, it is a bigger increase. But you're already enraged. That's already a powerful state to be in. It's not gonna matter that much in the long run.
Okay, so you know how Enrage mode is supposed to be Harken's X Factor? Alright, so what if we increase the windup of her upgraded Agitation by 0.4 seconds and made it able to be dodged while walking? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Ship it.
1, it's a very negligible increase, like I said before. 2, that is a walking X Factor in the fucking footage.
Now, you sit there nearly as long as a pre-rework 1X with mass infection as the civilians you were targeting run away to pelt you with the easiest pies of their life.
Absolutely nothing wrong with this, because this is a mostly valid point, but pie? Out of everything? You could have, like, done revolver or punch or something. Pie? What? Pie is shit, dude.
Now when you're enraged, it feels like you're being punished for using Harken's killer gimmick, instead of being rewarded for earning it.
Take all the arguments I've just made, condense them, and you have my argument for this. Man.
But I think we should also talk about Enraged mode as a whole while we're at it.
Nothing happened to Enrage mode as a whole post-launch. I'm just putting it here because it's consistency. That's what I'm trying to say.
Note how I said that Enraged mode is supposed to be Harken's X Factor in the previous section, and not that Enraged mode is Harken's X Factor. That would imply it truly puts you in an advantageous state.
I can make another Killjoy joke here, but I don't want to waste another Killjoy joke on this one. It does put you in an advantageous state. Fucking objectively, it is an advantageous state. Like, come on. Come on.
But Kraft, Harken was such a good pub stomper.
Once again, John Footage must know a lot about pub stompers. There's your fucking Killjoy joke. Take it or leave it. This is another point I can agree with. Harken was, and still is, quite a pub stomper. Like, public servers usually aren't coordinated, which means Harken and Killjoy excels at destroying them. That's just by definition what a fucking pub stomper is. I don't know why I took that long to explain what the hell a pub stomper was, but yeah, she's a pub stomper, and a fucking sorry.
You want to know what changed with these nerfs? Harken's viability in actually experienced lobbies.
Yeah, I've been in experienced lobbies with Harken. You want to know what happened? Even post-nerf, you want to know what happened? I still won most of the time. It's generally harder to win as killer in an experienced lobby in any fucking ASIM game. These negligible nerfs do not change a thing about that for Harken specifically.
People who can actually manage their stamina, actually have some discipline with using their abilities, and actually know how to exploit the sky-high windup of Agitation and Light Piercer will view this new version of Harken as a non-issue. Nobody won from this!
Because barely anything changed? Like, right after this, they go on and say, Harken players get a weaker killer, and experienced players get better games with Harken, like, slightly weaker, slightly better. These nerfs are negligible. Like I've said, I don't even know how many fucking times in this video. Nothing changes.
Unfortunately, the only real way to fix this issue is to revert most of the changes.
Yes, this could be a way to fix Harken, but like I said before, nerfs were negligible, and honestly, though, I don't really feel the need for them to be reverted. I would appreciate them being reverted. I like my lunge on Pummel, even though I didn't really notice it that much, but yeah, it's do or don't here. It doesn't really matter.
Finally, I think a harsher noise requirement to enter Enraged mode could do wonders for Harken.
No! Harsher requirement to enter an Enrage mode has been done before, and guess what? The one killer it was done with before got turned into John. I get looped all the fucking time. We're not doing this again! Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about this horrendous video. Yeah, in conclusion, this was a bit of an overreaction. Harken's nerfs were completely fine and even negligible. I don't expect me to make another video on this, video content. Even if Kraft makes a response video to my reaction. Because, like, I don't want to drag this out for too long, man. In conclusion, Killjoy joke. Thanks for watching.